For the first time in years, India's military leadership has made public two critical warfighting doctrines, one for cyberspace operations and another for amphibious warfare. These declassified documents reveal how India plans to defend its digital frontiers, secure its maritime approaches, and integrate tri-services capabilities for multi-domain conflicts of the 21st century. The release by the Chief of Defence Staff marks a deliberate shift towards transparency, aimed at reassuring allies, deterring adversaries, and informing the public of India's evolving war-fighting philosophy. While operational details remain classified, the doctrines outline strategic intent, force integration plans, and emerging threat responses. The Cyberspace Doctrine recognizes the virtual realm as a stand-alone battlefield, alongside land, sea, air, and the space. It calls for dedicated offensive cyber capabilities, real-time intrusions, detection, and cross-agency coordination to protect India's banking networks, energy grids, satellite links, and command systems from state-sponsored cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns. The doctrine also lays out a roadmap for digital deterrence, signaling to potential adversaries that any cyber strike will be met with a proportionate and potentially disabling response, including disruption of hostile command and control networks. The Amphibious Operations Doctrine details how India will deploy forces from sea to shore in both conflict and humanitarian missions. It stresses joint Army, Navy, Air Force operations, enabling rapid landings on hostile shores, securing island territories, and sustaining forces operating far away from the mainland. The doctrine highlights the Andaman and Nicobar Islands as a strategic hub for projecting influence deep into the Indo-Pacific region. Amphibious forces offer flexibility from disaster relief in Bay of Bengal to deterring hostile intrusions in the Indian Ocean's choke points. Together, these doctrines represent a shift towards multi-domain readiness, where battles are fought in interconnected theaters, cyber attacks could precede amphibious landings, and space-based surveillance could guide both. Together, these doctrines represent a shift towards multi-domain readiness, where battles are fought in interconnected theaters, cyber attacks could precede amphibious landings, and space-based surveillance could guide both. By placing these doctrines in public domain, India is sending a clear signal. It is prepared to fight and win in every arena of modern warfare, from digital shadows to high seas.
So narrative management system is something which we realize in a big way, because victory is in mind. It's always in mind. If you ask to a Pakistani whether you lost or won, you say, my chief has become field marshal, we must have won only, that's why he's become field marshal.
At a recent address at IIT Madras, Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi emphasized that wars today are fought as much in the information domain as on the battlefield. He said strategic communication is now a decisive tool of statecraft, influencing perceptions, policy, and even outcome of the conflicts.
The narrative management system, by getting the social kind of a sensitive index, then getting to use the Twitters and other handles from other places. So the strategic messaging which was there was very, very important. And that's why the first messaging we did, that okay, justice done, Op Sindoor, that hit the maximum, I am told, in the world today, the number of hits which received. So that was the strategic messaging by a simple message.
Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi noted that in the age of instant news and social media, controlling the narrative is as vital as controlling territory. Disinformation, psychological warfare, and targeted propaganda can shape public opinion and diplomatic positions long before a shot is fired. He stressed that the armed forces must integrate strategic communication to operational planning, ensuring accurate, timely, and credible information reaches the public while countering adversaries' narratives. This, he said, safeguards not only military objectives but also national unity and
I
resilience.
created those organizations.
From battlefield to the boardrooms, the army chief's message was clear. In 21st century, strategic communication is no longer an option, it's a necessity.
Of course, we have lot many agencies, NTRO, ISRO, int agencies, etc. And we realize that our platform, which are common, need to be much more empowered.